Yeah, hi guys and welcome to another card discussion video. Since my last video, 3 new cards are revealed and I would like to discuss them. In my last videos I have discussed more cards, but yeah, they were quite long. On average I was talking, I don't know, yeah, 3 to 5 minutes about them, and I would like to have the videos a little shorter, so it gives me also the chance to focus more on these cards. So also in the future I will make videos with just a few cards. So this time we will discuss 3. And before we start, yeah, I would like to point something out. First of all, I didn't mention that in previous videos. It might be that the names of the cards are changing, since some of the cards are revealed in Asia and then someone is translating them, but it's not the official translation. So for example, Cartoon Servant, which we saw last time, has actually a different name, but I don't know, don't ask me, I forgot it. Yeah, so and the other thing is something I always say before I start, for the case that it's the first card discussion video of me which you see. Yeah, it's just my personal opinion. I want to point this out, and I might be wrong with a lot of things. Also, online cards are widely discussed. I do some research before I do these videos, and there are also different opinions on these cards. So just it's better to, or hopefully I can give you some, provide some new insights or new ideas you have come up with, instead just giving it's good, it's bad, or it's okay, or something like this. Okay, so yeah, let's start with the card discussion. We have here the Infested Tauren, which is a neutral common card for 4 mana, and it has 2 attack, 3 health. It has Taunt, and it has the Death Rattle, which summons a 2/2 slime. So in total the stats are 4 or 5, which is actually quite good, and it's divided on 2 minions. If it's good, if the stats are divided on 2 minions or more minions, or not, it is the thing where I am not so sure about what is actually better. Some people claim it's better if it's divided on different ones. Sure, if you have a big minion and someone uses a removal spell, you lose a lot of tempo. On the other hand, if you have such little weak minions, your opponent is sometimes, it's easy for him to get rid of him, or you cannot do much with it. And this is something the problem I see here with both minions having just 2 attack. It's not so much. You cannot kill so much with it. In total, you have 5 health, which is good. But for example, if you have if your opponent has the 3/5 on the board, he's able to kill both with them, and you're not, because in total, if you attack twice, it's 4 damage. And this is different if you have Chilvindieti, for example, with 4/5, or with the Sentient Shieldmaster. But it also has some advantages, of course. So if you, for example, run the Sentient Shieldmaster and your opponent has 3 attack minion on the board, then he can kill this minion, the Shieldmaster, by buffing this minion by 2, which is, yeah, if you play against Zoo, for example, not so uncommon. Here it would be better, and if he just have 1 minion, he can just attack with this minion once. Then you're having the next turn the chance to decide what you want to attack with the 2/2 slime, and might make a more favorable trade than yeah, it would be when your opponent would attack you. But yeah, so in total, I don't think this is a really good card, just because the attack is too low. As I pointed out, it would be useless against 3-5 or 4-5 for the same mana cost. Also, if you compare it with Sludge Belcher has better stats with 3-5, and the second minion you get has also Tauren, which is really nice because it prevents the opponent to make the trades he wants, and so it gives you time to develop your board. Yeah, the Piloted Shredder, it's also one minion you could compare with it. The outcome most of the time would also give you 2/2 stats, and maybe you even get a minion with some extra abilities. Yeah, and with 4/3 attack, it's really good to kill something. It has enough attack. Yeah, and the other one you could compare it with would be the Sentient Shieldmaster, also with 3 attack and 5 health. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I personally prefer this over this stats split on 2 minion. Yeah, so right now I don't see why you should run this. The only good thing here is to deal with aggro early on, that you have a taunt, and then you get as well a minion where you can trade with, especially in the case I pointed out, if your opponent has the chance to buff his minions. So you have on the one hand you have taunt, but you have also 2 minions with it, and usually if someone plays more aggressive, the health from the minions are not that high, so maybe you can trade this card for 2, which then wouldn't be bad. But still, I really don't see it being so good, so most likely we won't see this in Constructed. In Arena, it is more or less the same problematic I pointed out. The overall stats are good, therefore I think it's an okay card. Yeah, I would take other minions over it, but it's not a bad card. So the next card is really interesting. It's Herald, and now I will have problems with the pronunciation. Volazj. Okay, I don't know. Let's come to the card and skip this embarrassing moment. So it's a 6 mana 5/5. So stat wise it's not that good, but it has a battle cry, and it's really interesting battle cry. It says summon a 1/1 copy of each of your other minions. Before sharing my thought how good this is, just 2 things. I found people wondering online with the battle cry. So usually the battle cry is triggered before the minion is played. So some were wondering, in case you have 4 minions on the board and you play this one, will you see this on the board or not? Because if the battle cry triggers before, you will become those copies and there will be no space on the board. This is not the case. Before the battle cry is triggered, 1 spot is already reserved for those minions, and it's more or less the same with Dr. Boom. If you play him and you have already 5 minions on the board, you will also summon Boom and just 1 Boom bot, so this won't be a problem. And the other question was that, so someone was wondering if those minions, which are like nerfed, if you can silence them and if they will get their original stats back. I don't think so, because just from what it says summon a 1/1 copy. So what you get is the 1/1 copy out of it. This is the new minion which enters the board. And it's not like that you get a copy and then it changes afterwards. No, this is the 1/1 copy is the minion you get. and therefore this is then the original stats of this minion. It's my personal opinion. I think it makes sense. I don't know, maybe you have a different opinion on that, but we will see in the future. So now let's discuss how good this minion is. First of all, I really like the concept because there's no other minion which you really compare it with. So this is really unique ability. So most people would say this is a win more card. It just makes sense if you have already minions on the board. If you have no minions on the board, it's just a 5/5 for 6 mana, which is actually not good. In Arena, might be okay, but in Constructed, it's really not good. Not good. Playing a 5/5 without any other abilities or effects for 6 mana, it's just too slow. Yeah, so you need something on the board to get some value out of this card. So just assuming you have one minion on the board, you get a 1/1 in addition. Then you have in total 6/6 stats, which for 6 mana is still worse than the Bolt of his Ogre, which we never see because there are other minions for 6 mana which are better. So with 2 minions on the board, it will be better. In total it's 7/7 stats, but then really you need those 2 minions on the board already, and that's why people say it's a win more card. If your board is already strong, you make it even stronger, but if you're behind, it doesn't help you at all. I disagree a little bit with the opinion that win more cards are bad, because sometimes I feel in some situations when you have board control, it doesn't mean that you will win the game. It might be still unclear if you're able to win, and those cards, which are often called win more cards, are cards which gives you the extra something in addition, which helps you to develop your board control even more and change the game to your favor. While it was before, you were maybe just slightly ahead, and you could have you still have a chance to lose. So this will make your win probabilities higher. So and if you're running the right deck, where you can maybe take care that you're early on in advance on the board, then so win more cards are not that bad, in my opinion. But still here, the thing is, if you just have some cards with no special abilities, then you just get some extra stats, which is actually not that good to really risk it for matchups where this is just a simple 5/5. But this becomes interesting when you have minions with special abilities, be it Sylvanas, be it I don't know, just whom do we have? Ragnaros, for example, or I could do some, I don't know. So, but there are some Maligos, for example, also a really good card. So you can use those things to or all cards with really good death rattles. Can Blotto, for example. So then the value increases really, really high, and this is an interesting. But then it's also, so in those cases, you might just have one, or in best case, 2 minions on the board. But then the value is really high. But if it's enough, really to yeah, if you get those little minions with this extra ability, you should somehow make use of it. So, for example, if it's Meligos, maybe you, yeah, trying one turn kill or whatever. And setting this up is a little bit hard, I would say. So even though I think this minion is really interesting and it seems like really fun and will be the main reason for a lot of Trollden videos online, I don't think we will see it so often. But who knows? Maybe someone is coming up with a really good idea how to make good use of this card. Yeah, but I think then you have to also really include this card in your deck building strategy. So build a little bit around this card. In Arena, I think it's an okay card because yeah, you shouldn't expect too much with it. Usually you get just for each minion 1/1. You cannot use it for synergies. Yeah, and to get really value out of it, so at least 2 minions on the board, you either have to play it really late with some small minions or being already ahead on the board. So you didn't get anything really good out of it, so, or let's say really amazing. You can get something good out of it, but nothing completely amazing. Yeah, playing it as a 5/5 for 6 mana is not that good, but it happens sometimes that in Arena you can't play mana efficient and then you play something a 3-drop on turn 4, and it's not such a huge problem. But since it's a legendary, and yeah, you often get maybe better choices. I think you will most of the time prefer another one because it's really just an okay card. So last one, also really interesting cards. Doom. It's a Warlock card and it says destroy all minions, draw a card for each. This is super interesting and also really hard to predict how good this card will be or not, and how can you use it in such a way. So you can compare this with Twisting Nether. It's more or less the same effect, but you pay 2 mana more and you get the card draws out of it. Usually you won't play this when you're behind. You will play this when your minion is ahead on the board, and I don't think you will play it just when he has 1 minion on the board. In that case, you rather play use a 10 mana and rather play some more minions or a really huge minion which is bigger than your opponent's minions, so you can trade it next round. So I guess most of the time when you play it, you kill also 2 at least minions of your opponent, and so you should always draw 2 or 3 cards. Yeah, and those 2 extra mana for drawing 2 or 3 cards is really good. So just from this point of view, it's way better than Twisting Nether. The downside of it is that you spend all your mana and you cannot play anything. Okay, if you play Twisting Nether, you have 2 mana left, so maybe, yeah, you can just drop a 2-drop if you have someone in your hand. So the disadvantages is maybe not so high. Yeah, but still, having this as the only effect, not so sure if this is so good. The problem is you deal with the board for the moment, but since you spend all your mana, in the next turn, your opponent can fill the board again and put you under pressure again. So then you have to yeah, do something else to catch up again. If you look at Twisting Nether, how often we see it, I personally use it in my Dreadsteed Warlock. I don't know so much about Reno Lock because I haven't tried it yet, but I think they run also one copy of it. Um, there, the good thing is that you have good comics with with Reno, and okay, this card helps you also to get to Reno earlier. So this might be decks where this can be useful. I don't think it's good for Zoo. For hand lock, I also don't think, because before turn 10 you try to lock the board already with your big minions and your taunts. Mm, so something where you were maybe playing, play for more for value, and maybe you're also more reactive. And but in that case, you also often have already a full hand, and then it might be also possible that you could potentially play this card, but you would overdraw your card and your hand, and this wouldn't be so good as well. Mm, so right now, the sense of the extra cards you can get from it, I don't know why you should. Where would it be good for? So I'm not so sure if it's really that much better than Twisting Nether in Constructed, but we will see. So as I said, it's hard to say. Yeah, and in Arena, yeah, I read that this was a really amazing card because you deal with the whole board and then you get a lot of card draw. Um, but I'm not so sure if this is really good for Warlock. It's also for Constructed. This card would be way more interesting for other classes, but especially in Arena, um, your hero power is to draw cards a lot. So you don't have to take care of your card advantage. You can always put everything on a board, and yeah. So most of the time, from honestly, I don't play so much Warlock, but if I play it, I try to get a really low curve so that can be always manner efficient, and I kind of run out of steam because I have the chance to always draw the cards I want. So I'm it's a lot about playing tempo, and so a 10 mana card is just way too late. It's a little bit maybe like the giant sandworm for Hunter, which is an awesome card by itself, but it's probably way too late because you usually try to play more aggressive, and so at least I when I play Warlock, I also try to play with a lot of tempo, and even try to close the game a little before. But on the other hand, it's a really good comeback card. So if you somehow fall behind on board and also running out of steam, this might be a really good comeback, and especially when your opponents spend a lot of resources to catch up on your board. He might be already really low on cards, and by this card you can set up a clear board and getting a huge card advantage. And if you have some more other answers you have to his minions with charge, or Siphon Soul or something like this, then you also have the chance to take over the board again, and from that time on, controlling the board, and just with the big card advantage you have, winning this game. So is it worth to just include this card for the case you might run out of steam and be not able to kill him before he's taking over the board? I'm skeptical about this. So that's why also the reason I wouldn't say this is for sure not an excellent card in Arena. I would rather not take it, depending on my playstyle. Yeah, So if you're more the trollish player, this might be a really good card in Arena. Yeah, but Arena is mostly about tempo and yeah, trying to get on board as soon as possible. Okay, great. So I'm done with my three cards. I also, wow, I'm almost took almost as long as discussing the 6 cards from my last video. Maybe I have to reduce the amount of cards to 1 or 2 cards per video. Okay, so I think I will stay with 3 or 4 cards and really try to make it cheaper, quicker in during the next videos. Yeah, so I hope I could give you some more insight on this card. I could give you some more ideas about this card. You get some, yeah, you have a better understanding or whatever, and yeah, you can somehow agree with my arguments. Yeah, if you're not okay with this, I would like I'm open to discuss it, and just leave me some comments. And yeah, then I would be glad if you also will watch some of my other videos in the future.